Good afternoon, everyone. So you're able to hear me properly, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Let's start today's topic, the Agentic AI agent, which is like RFP management with using Agentic AI. So today the discussion is on an RFP agent, which is an agentic agent, which can automate the process of managing RFPs. So let's start with understanding what is an RFP. So let me tell you, some of you may have not seen an RFP yet, or some may have already, in the process of using RFPs or processing RFPs, writing responses to RFPs. This is a usual, job in any organization. So what do we do? What is an RFP? Let's define that first. So an RFP is a kind of, the expansion is a request for proposal, which is a formal document issued by any organization to solicit competitive proposals from vendors. So it's like, for assume we need to have a particular project to be done. Assume it's a software project, and we want to get proposals from multiple vendors. So we create an initial document, which is an RFP, called for a request for proposal from the vendors. So we create that document and share it with the prospective vendors, and they come back with a response to it. So that's the RFPs. I'll show you some samples as well. Then the similar naming or similar kind of documents are like RFI, which is a request for information, which is a bit more early stage informational document. RFQ, which is a request for quotations. And then DDQ, which is due diligence questionnaire. So that's another way. Sometimes it is security questionnaires, which is received from the enterprise for the vendors to answer. So let's also see some samples to understand it better. So let me take you to some of the sample tender documents. So this is like, the RFPs. For example, this is Cochin International Airport. They had an RFP document. So what happens is they will give this document asking for a lot of information. So initially there will be information regarding that particular enterprise, what they want, and then what are the things to be included in the scope of work and other details. So if you can see, like, it's usually a long, big document with a lot of information request coming from the enterprise. So this is one example. See, there are a lot of sections, subsections, and they want a lot of information, like, to be supplied to that particular enterprise. Let me take another one. This is the Oriental Bank, one of the banks RFP. Here, this is a request for proposal for installation of maintenance of their enterprise data center and switches. So they give you all these details. Let me take you to some important information which you need. So this is a scope of work. So first part is like the enterprise will explain what they want, like. So all those details are given here. And then they will also ask about, different terms and conditions to bid for this. That means you need to submit a lot of documents. Like for the scrutiny, maybe we need to submit the registration certificate, the GST certificate, maybe the financial details. A lot of related information also need to be submitted along with the actual proposal. So you can see a lot of compliance and other requirements are there. All these details need to be submitted. Okay. So with that, a few samples, let's go back to our original requirement. So you will see, like, in a sample RFP structure, you require, it will include, kind of sections like this. There'll be an introduction. They will give you some scope of work or requirements, actual project requirements. they will give some specific technical specifications or requirements based on their enterprise, their data center, their other applications, etc. They'll give some criteria for qualifying the vendors in terms of certifications, ISO or SOC 2 compliance, and then other reference implementations, financials, maybe last 3 years, balance sheet or profit and loss, other accounts may be asked. Security and compliance related questions will be there. Pricing has to be included in it. And the other criteria, for evaluation, submission instructions. Sometimes a specific template will be given. We need to submit the response in that particular template. So this, by looking at this first page itself, first introduction itself, that a lot of information need to be collected, edited, aggregated, formatted to submit it back to the enterprise as an RFP submission, RFP response, right? A lot of work is involved in it. A lot of information is required in it. A lot of time is required. A lot of people are to be involved in this. So that's a real scenario. Now let's analyze the response or the information required a bit more detail. So you can see, in those RFPs, the questions were mostly some are organization or the vendor related information, right? So these are some of the categories of questions or sections we need to give as response. These are mostly static. If you analyze how did I group this, is like these are mostly static and reused across RFPs. For example, our company overview, let's say we are getting an RFP when we are providing a response back to that particular enterprise. So company overview, that's the same. Company history, it will be the same. Financials, mostly the same unless the financial year changes. The ownership structure, what certifications and compliance we have, what are our security architecture and other procedures we follow, case studies, references, etc. Right? So a lot of information is, you can see, kind of static, which is required by all the RFPs. Now, on the second part, on the right side, you can see there are further information required, which are dynamic in nature. That means scope of work. So based on the scope of work, you need to create a solution, solution approach to that particular scope of work, and design for that, an architecture for that, a project schedule for that. These are information which are specific to that particular project. So you will have to have technical approach, a pricing model. Every project you price in a different way. So that has to be there. Different SLAs are to be provided. And who is working on it, the project plan, the risk register. So it's different. So that means now when we think about providing a response to an RFP, there are information which are more of a static nature, organization related information, which are there on one side. On the other side, we need a lot of information which are dynamic in nature. Now, in the Agentic AI world, if you think, these two will, tend towards two different technologies. One will be a RAG-based, solution where all these policies, procedures, information, etc., can be there in a vector database, and you can use a RAG to retrieve it and then use it, right? So that's on the first part. And the second part, based on the requirements, an LLM can provide a proper response, the first level, response to each of those questions. So that's why I classified it this way for general understanding. So this is, information required to respond back to an RFP. Now, why is it hard? So there are some key pain points. One is the time pressure. Usually when you get an RFP, you may have few days or a few weeks to create the complete response. The response may be, tens of pages, 10 pages, 20, 30 pages of information, which need to be prepared in a short period of time. That's one. And you may have one or two people working on it. Then you need to coordinate with different departments. For example, to get the financial information, you need to connect to the accounts department or the finance department, and the security things you may have to connect to another security department. So there may be related departments which has to provide this information, consolidate it, and create the response. So there's a lot of dependency with different functional units. Repetition with the reuse. So let's assume in a month we get around 5 to 10 RFPs. Now in these RFPs, there'll be, as we discussed, there'll be a lot of common information which are in there. So for this, every time we are writing it again and again and again. So these repetition without reuse is a problem. There can be things written or stored for once and then reused in different RFPs. Version control. So multiple people are editing the same. So you created something and different people are adding sections. Different people are editing it. Now what happens is in case if you want to roll back, go to a previous version, it's a problem. And when there are multiple versions, the other question is which version is the final, which one I can send, which can I can take it as the final response. Consistencies, when different people create sections of the document, there can be inconsistencies, or even when it's a large document, there can be contradicting details put in a contradicting way. That can cause issues. Now, other thing is some of the clauses are very critical because sometimes some of the wrong information given to in the RFP or the response can lead to rejection of that particular response if you have given some information which is incorrect or not correct or legally compliant. So there are, you can see there are a lot of pain points when you really want to manually process RFPs and create responses. It takes, a lot of time. So this is, to just set the context and understand what is really happening in an RFP process. Now, the immediate thought will be okay, I have, an RFP I received. Why don't I put it into the, chat and then get the final output created, right? It's a natural tendency, obvious temptation towards using some of the LLMs. Now, what is the problem there? Well, when it is an enterprise working on such RFPs, the first thing they may require is data residency and privacy. So we don't want to take these things into a public cloud and then create confidential client information there, maybe there, NDAs may be there. Some of these RFPs may be confidential. So we don't want to take it to the public internet. And the other thing is, to process this, we said we also have a lot of organizational information organized as part of this product, which need to be on-premise or which need to be within the company's network or the enterprise network. So that's another requirement. Then once an RFP response is prepared, we want to know, who has created it, what was the output response generated, who generated it, what was the source for this, and who approved it. All these things are important, before it goes to the customer. Now, observability, you want to see all the details need to be there, and then once the data is ingested and generated, the volume, who generated it, all those kind of related observability for this particular system is required. Explainability, this is a key factor in almost every, if you take fintech or anywhere. When you draft something, you need to say from where, what is the source of this information from, which policy or which corporate document this information is taken, and also you need to provide a confidence level. Okay, this information taken from this section of this document is at a confidence level of, let's say, 9.9. So that gives kind of explainability and confidence to the customer as well. Other regulatory requirements, you want things to be within India, as per RBI requirements. That's one of the requirements. There may be other compliance requirements in each country. So there are a lot of things which an enterprise requires, wherein they don't want to put all their data, confidential information, financial information into LLMs or public LLMs. So that's where the lowtouch AI comes in. So lowtouch AI is a platform which is a private no-code agentic AI platform for enterprises. So what it does, so we designed it for considering the factors which we discussed in the previous slide, like the concerns of enterprises. We created an enterprise AI platform. It's an enterprise AI platform. This can run within the network, within the infra of a customer. It's a no-code agent builder. The instructions and training can be done using natural language. It's LLM agnostic, so we are able to use LLMs on local LLMs or even public or cloud LLMs. It's configurable, and then we can completely deploy this within an air-gapped environment like banks, wherein within their infrastructure we can deploy this. Now, what it can do, what are the capabilities? It can automate all the repetitive workflows, reasoning through exceptions, integrations with other systems like CRM systems, core banking systems, or any other systems we can integrate via APIs or SQL. And it always keeps humans in the control. When you need something to be reviewed and approved, we can include humans in the loop. So that's HITL is supported out of the box. And every action is logged, so you have all the audit entries, etc., available within it. Now, who can use it? Any enterprise, any company who want to use Agentic AI for their operations, business, or IT, any of those requirements. It's like any vertical, any industry can use this. So this is, we designed a platform to solve a particular problem, the problem we stated before. And the overall architecture is like, it has around 5 layers. Now, it starts with the user interaction layer, wherein the customers, like it can be employees, managers, they can connect to the system, help desk people, or any of those user groups, usual to any application. The interfaces supported are like, you can have a web interface, we'll show you one, a chat interface, and then it can be a voice interface. You can give voice instructions or responses. Email assistants are there. You can send an email and the agent processes it. It can even listen to Slack or Teams channels and take the input from there and then act on it, like alerts and other things. WhatsApp integration, like if you want to interact with your customers using WhatsApp, we can do that. And other systems integrations through APIs and all. So since it's a platform, we have multiple options already built in, ready to deploy. So that, the good thing is you can easily deploy and easily onboard a new requirement in 4 to 6 weeks. That's where all these components will help you. And we already have a lot of agents built in for different verticals, different business domains. Some of the examples we'll show you in an agent catalog. And also within the heart of it, like we have private LLM hosting, supporting different models. And we work on, two common algorithms like React and Kodak for reasoning. There's an inbuilt RAG or a VectorDB, which supports as we said, like, VectorDB will support you for the RAG related things. So this is the AI engine, the core of the platform. And then to make it an enterprise or for any enterprise solution, you need other things like orchestration, observability, wherein the workflows managed by Airflow, tags for scheduling, etc. Inbuilt SSO, RBAC, all these things are there. And it can also connect to enterprise integrations, enterprise solutions, other systems like Jira, ServiceNow, Salesforce, or any of the other core banking or other systems. And it can be even also deployed in the cloud as well, like AWS Bedrock. That's also supported. And it has the necessary compliance and security. It can be deployed based on the customer, the country, the requirements. We can also provide the necessary compliance and security measures. So this is the overall architecture, the layered architecture for the platform. So from here now, why is it different? So as we discussed over the last few slides, it's private by architecture. So it can be deployed in an air-gapped environment by using, even it can use local LLMs. And the speed at which we can onboard a particular requirement is 4 to 6 weeks. We have agents that can think, reason, and then act. And then we have a no-code builder, which again makes it faster. Wherever required, we can introduce human in the loop, and it's compliance ready. So this is the platform used. Now let's go to a specific use case, which is the RFP agent, which we discussed. So we had already discussed, we are receiving RFPs from other companies or enterprises. So we want to process that. So the processing will be once you got the RFP, you need to upload and ingest. So it can be in Word or PDF documents. So you get that, you want to upload that to a secure workspace, and the platform need to automatically process this based on the other available information within the agent. Now, as we discussed, the RFP has, ideally, it has a lot of sections. Each section is asking for information. We can consider like a set of questions or clauses or paragraphs we need to create. Now, the aim of the objective of this agent is to generate these answers. So it reads this and then creates all the questions and answers based on the RFP. So the content is generated. Now, how does it generate the content? As we discussed, we have some static information which is already there in the vector database. Using RAG, we can retrieve it and then use it. That's one. And the second, we have an LLM which can, find, suggest, or recommend, or create the first draft of the answers and then submit it for the user for review. So the next level is review. Now, the person who's drafting this RFP, there can be multiple levels. They can review it, refine it. So, some of the answers generated or auto-generated if it's not good. So what I can do, I can go and regenerate it, or I can give more input and then, make it better. So we can review, refine, and regenerate multiple times. This is an iterative process wherein once everything is okay, we can lock it. I can kind of approve it and, then export the content. It can export the content as a PDF, or even it can also, if you want, you can take sometimes the specific requirement will be there. Like the RFP itself, there will be a template given, like the structure given, how to respond back. And that's one use case, where the other is like sometimes every enterprise has their own templates wherein they want to put all the information and send. So it generates all the information, and then you can take this and then put it into your format, whatever format required, or the format generated by the agent itself, and then it can be submitted back. So this is the RFP agent. So these are some of the key features. The feature list, like it automatically extracts the questions from the uploaded RFP, answer auto generation. It's an AI powered auto generation, answer generation. And it does automated quality audit, correction and other things. There is a scoring, review and approval workflows are built in. Version control is there. Every edit, every version is there. The full history is there. Audit logging of all the actions done by different users. We can have different roles like viewer, editor, approver, admins. These roles can be fixed, set. And different workspace based on each project or each customer or client, we can create multiple workspaces and work on it. So multiple teams can work on multiple workspaces. Knowledge base. This is where we settle all the on company specific information can be put in a knowledge base and it can be reused. It has a rich text editor. We can edit or make some modifications. The editor supports for it, supports for PDF export, single sign-on, etc., and notification. So this is some of the key features. Now with this, I think we can go to a demo. So the demo is like we will. So this is a high-level architecture of our lowtouch.ai platform. Now specifically for this use case, the interface is a web interface, and this is the platform. We have all the required components, tools, models, RAG, everything within this platform. You can see here, there's a workflow orchestrator, compliance management agent. There can be chatbots. You can directly chat with the agent or the information. Models are there. As we said, we support on-premise as well as cloud models. RAG, a VectorDB is there. And it can then integrate with, in this case, like in our case, what happens is the integration is mostly to the enterprise information, which is like all the compliance questions, policies, or the financial informations. All that is in the database. So we retrieve that based on the questions or based on the RFP, retrieve that and that create. This can be deployed in an air-gapped or on-premise or private cloud environments. So there's a high-level architecture where it is. And now based on the agents and the business functionality and the process it does, things change. It's not just one agent, multiple agents working in a coordinated way. So based on the integrations required on the right side will change. Based on the interface required, the left side changes. So it's just a representative architecture for this particular use case, right? So and we discussed like the security and compliance by design. So we any platform, any agent we deploy, the necessary security measures are built in, like encryption, IAM, guardrails, auditability, all that is built. Now let's go to the agent-specific things. So the workflow can be demonstrated. So let's move to a demo of how this can be done. So let me take the application. This is the UI. Can you see the UI as well? It's a login page. Is that visible?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, right. So let me start with logging in. It's MFA is supported for logins. So let me start with, these are the different workspaces. These are, we did multiple tests with the different workspaces. So the first step in the process is going and creating a workspace. You can click on create workspace. So you can give a name to your workspace. It can be a customer name or a project which you're currently working on. You can do one and then, create. So let's say, create the workspace. You can see it's getting created. So now you can go to that workspace. It's now created here. So initially you can see like there is nothing in this. So you have 3 tabs here, the projects, analytics, knowledge base. If you go here, there is nothing here. So usually the first step is, setting up a workspace is, you can add details, your documents, company information, policies, etc., to this particular knowledge base. So let me show you a document, a sample. So we'll take a sample company. There's a company we created for this purpose. So it's a Boston Investment Partners Limited. So the company information is here, company history is here, and then you can see the ownership, investment philosophy, core platforms, what are the products, services, all these details are given in a document. It can be one document, multiple documents. So for the demo, we have one document which covers all this information. So I'm going to add this to our knowledge base. Go with this document, Boston Private Investment, open it. So I can give an effective date as well, like, start from today, and this not applicable, so I'm leaving it. So it's a new document. So there is no different versions available at the moment. And then we can add some tags, etc., and then upload this document. So now it has, uploaded the document to the agent. Now the agent will start processing it. You can see it here, the status processing. It's getting processed. So what happens is now we extracting the information from these documents, the policy process information documents, and then setting up the VectorDB. Okay, so this goes. So that's the knowledge base part of it. Now, while it's doing this, okay, this draft is done. So here again, once the company information is very important. It has to be correct, accurate, right? All the legal details has to be correct. So everything is created as draft. And as we said, like there is a human in the loop. So I can submit it for review. So currently I'm logged in as admin. So I can do multiple things here. Ideally, it's like somebody enters it and it goes to the next level for review. Okay, role-based access control will be there. So it started here and I click for review in progress. So this is the first step, setting up your knowledge base, the company information, the financial information, the certifications you have, the security and other, policies you have. So all those details can be set up in the knowledge base. So while it's going on, so let me maybe take another example. So how much time it takes, Ben? 1 minute. Let me take this. So once it is processed, I'll show you what happened. So this is almost the same. So we had this information here. It's approved. All that is here. And then here I have also added a project. Right. Let's do that itself. I think it must be finished by now. Still in progress. Okay. Okay, so now I have to take.
So yeah, I think we can accept the review. Currently we are
yeah, okay. Okay, now the review is completed here. So you can see, like, this information is already now in the database. Now we have different options like preview. You can click here and preview the document. So preview option is already there. And you can also click and download this, again. And this is an assistant, like a chat assistant, wherein you can ask questions, give me a summary of the You can ask questions. So quickly, if you want to get something from the knowledge base, this is one way. As assistant is there. There are two assistants. One is which can search in the knowledge base and give you information. And the other one is, you can see here, now it has searched the DB, and it gives you quick summary of ownership, different characteristics, performance summaries. This is from the document. And it has, you can see like the confidence level is medium now. And the source also is saying it is taken from this particular document section, etc. This is what we are saying like. So we have added that to every, retrieval. So there's a confidence level. Now, still probably it is progressing. So while let's go to the projects. So let me now upload a new document. So again, I'm going back of a sample, RFP here. So this is a small one because it may take a few minutes to process. So I've taken a smaller one. This is with, you can see few details. Sorry, this is another one. Yeah, this is one. This one. Private equity investment consulting. So it's related to that particular one. Let me go back. So now we have the name of the RFP here. So there's a document type. So you can leave it as auto, or you can have, map it to different type of RFPs will be there. So you can map it to a particular type too. And you can give some details about the project here. And any additional information can be added here, which is available. And then upload and start analysis. So now the document which we received from the company is uploaded. Now it will go for all the internal read, extraction, understanding the questions, and then creating the responses. Okay. So once that is completed, we'll get a status here. So currently it will continue this process. So that will be happening. So while this does, so we have, done, we'll take one of the RFPs, which we have already done. So let me take this one. So here, this was for an insurance one. So you would see, so this is a dashboard wherein you can see this was created on this date. This is an insurance related one. Okay. And then from the RFP, we need to find out answers for around 591 questions. This has to be not reviewed yet. And then it also marks some of the areas or questions or sections as sensitive. And then based on the knowledge base, based on the information available, it created answers. Let's see some of the answers, etc. So this was the question. Provide this is the editor where for a particular RFP you can see all the questions on the left side, and you have filters to filter sensitive, reviewed, unreviewed, approved. There are filters to filter it. If you click on this, for example, you'll get all sensitive information here, or everything here. So you have methods to filter it here. the questions. Now, if you click on a question, you can see the details on the right. This is a rich text editor. And here again, you have the confidence, the source, all those informations are there. And if you see here, it goes through a process, So for example, this one is marked as reviewed. Now, if you take the next one, this is again marked as reviewed. So you can initially it will be like not reviewed. You can go click and review. You have the complete workflow. Like you created something, you edited it, you reviewed it, and then you can approve, and then finally lock. And you can also mark it as sensitive, or if something is not good, you can even reject it. And as we said, like there is an assistant here too. For example, this response, if I didn't like it or I wanted to make some changes, etc. So let me say like, press answer to your, I can do that, regenerate it, and it'll start building this. So the RFP is taken, it's extracted, questions are identified, the answers are generated. Answers are generated from the knowledge base as well as based on the LLM. So now the user can come in here, see all these answers which are already generated. You go, if you want, you edit it, refine it, then send it for the approval. Somebody reviews it, approves it, and then everything is done. We can download it as a complete thing. And now more actions here is like you can see, for example, the activity. You can see like, the answer is edited by Venkatesh, and then it is created by Venkatesh and it is edited. So that's a status. And what are the versions here? So there's only one version for this particular one. So the complete activity history on each of the questions can be seen. So there's an activity tab which helps you in that. So that's on the editor side. And finally, if you go the knowledge base, same knowledge base. Okay, 2 documents here we have. Or go to the analytics part of it. There's very few information here. So coming back to the project. So in this workspace, I have 5 projects. It's a little more projects are there. All the 5 are in progress. Nothing is completed. And completion date, etc. So you can see here some of the status of each of the RFPs in process. This is another good thing, right? So you received multiple RFPs, you don't know what happened to each of those things. So now the status is there. When it is last worked on, all these details are here. So we have the status of each of the RFPs here, the projects here. All right. So that's about the application. And finally, if you want, like, for example, go here and even option to export this as PDF. So click on this. So you can see here, you have all the questions and the answers. It creates a PDF. You can copy it and then take it to your document if you want. All the answers, or only the answers, the content you can copy and take, or you can download it as a PDF. So the complete process, starting from getting an RFP, reviewing it, creating the questions and creating the answers, reviewing it, approving it, and finally downloading it as one document or sections of it, a separate content, and then adding to your template and then sending it back to the user. So this is the overall, how the agent works. Here, the UI is web UI, and we use VectorDB is Postgres VectorDB, and we've used LLMs. Now, currently, it is cloud LLMs, and we can also use the local ones when it is deployed on customer environments. And that covers the RFP thing. So before we go to the next, questions, etc. So a few things here, like this is one of the agent we have. We also have, as I introduced we have multiple agents. Some of the examples I'll quickly go through. So this is our agent catalog. So we have around 25 to 30 agents. So for example, quickly go through these names like SRE agent, this, helping the SRE engineers in monitoring the environment, the clusters. Then auto loan agent, this is for the customers can query about their loans, auto loans, or the staff within the bank can get reports and other things using the auto loan agent. We have an HR agent which connects and applying leave, and then these are the things, employee management. All these things can be done using the HR agent. Insurance agent, I'll just go through each one. A web shop agent, which is an e-commerce integration wherein you can chat and then get find products, order products, and query about products, all these things. Sales agent. Then LinkedIn agent, which can connect to LinkedIn and do your tasks. There's an AppSy agent, which is related to our earlier platform, which is again an DevOps platform. FinOps agent, which can connect to the cloud accounts and then get your bills, the cloud bills, analyze it, and recommend better options to optimize your cloud cost. Tracker agent, this is a ticketing agent wherein you can chat and then interact with your ticketing system, create tickets, and manage it. Code review. This is a complete. Once we have more into this. We have a complete platform, an agent, which can take the requests from your ticketing system and then take the source code from the Git and create, make the changes, test it, and deploy it. The complete, automation, the code, SDLC part of it. Service delivery. This is regarding the SLA. Help desk agent. We have multiple types of help desk agents, which is for IT help desk for supporting IT queries coming in from users. Help desk agent for compliance, which are compliance RTA related queries coming in emails, which can be processed and responded back. And then compliance management, wherein the customer complaints or the user complaints can be registered via an email, which can be auto replied with answers, or if not possible, create tickets and give to the next level thing. This is for image, Docker image thing, text to SQL agent. This is conversion of natural language queries into SQL queries. HubSpot integration. Now, actually, we converted the complete HubSpot functionality into our own CRM. Our agent is doing all that. Invoice, etc. So we have a lot of agents which are all built using this particular platform. How we could build this is because of all these guardrails and architecture, the tools and everything. It's easy to create a new agent within 4 to 6 weeks. So that's all from my side.